Welcome to Movie Vaders. I'm Kyle.
I'm Nick.
Oh, you had something to snap and you waited.
No, I said I did. You didn't listen to me.
I'm sorry. Will you snap
I'm
harder?
Kirk.
And this week we have special guest Movie Man T.
Howdy.
Is that what do you want? Can I only call you that during this?
That's up to you.
Okay. Thank you, Movie Man T. We are Upper Midwest filmmakers. This is not a review show. This is a debate show. We're specifically going to try to disagree with each other. That's the point. Nick didn't see the movie. He was at a beach.
I'm going to see it this weekend. I'm going to see it on Saturday.
You're going to see it specifically on Saturday?
That's what it's shaping up to be. Yeah.
Okay.
So I did not want to commit to seeing it twice and then jinx it and have me not like it, specifically because I committed to seeing it twice. Committed to seeing it today and then Saturday. So if I want to watch it and not like, maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised and I will like it when the one time I do see it. But I would, I'd rather do it this way than the other way and have to see the movie again if I didn't like it the first time.
Because you can go to see it with your roommate girlfriend and have already seen it and know that you hate it because she wants to see it. What if you just were like, hey, let's not do this, honey?
Well, my parents this is one that my parents will see too. So
your dad doesn't want to see Longlegs, but he'll see. Our dad, since we're brothers and all of that, Farx Brothers.
I don't think my dad knows what Longlegs is.
Sure, my dad doesn't know. Our separate raised fathers don't know what Longlegs is. But let me tell you something. A much better time at the movies with almost anyone would be Longlegs versus this movie. I'm gonna make
starting out strong.
Yeah,
Kyle did not like this movie.
Kyle did not like this movie, and I'm gonna try to convince Nick. I almost want to convince you not to see it because
I'm gonna see it either way.
I know. Movie Man T. Your movie review man. Give us the shape and size of the Facebook post or social media. Are you exclusive to Facebook?
Currently, yeah.
Okay, so search Movie Man T on Facebook for.
Well, not yet. I'm working on that.
Oh, well, I've seen these. Aren't you a hashtag at least?
Well, I put it on the end there, but
good.
I've got to make a page. Working on that.
Okay. So give me the secret of what's your post going to be like after this? Yay, nay, somewhere in the middle. That's somewhere in the middle.
I enjoyed it. So
you liked it.
I liked it, yeah.
So the point of this show is to disagree with me. So actively try to convince my brother to go see this movie with our parents. They're not actually my parents.
I'm seeing it either way.
I know you're going to see it either way with your roommate girlfriend and the parents that I did not grow up with.
Did she like the first one?
I think she's seen it, but I think she's just
middle of the road.
It's whatever. It's not her type of movie.
What does that mean?
Well, I think it's a movie that she saw because everyone saw that movie kind of growing up.
Yeah, at a sleepover or something when you were a middle schooler.
I don't think she would seek it out. I don't think she would today. I don't think she would seek it out and watch it if she hadn't seen it yet.
That is exactly what Mrs. Farx said, because when I rewatched it over the weekend, with the two Tuches, the young daughters, who I've been advised to not take to this movie, and I'm not going to because I don't care about it enough to take even the older one. I might take my niece. I don't know. She asks me. I'd probably go see Coraline 3D again before I'd see this. That's how angry I am right now.
So me when I watch Night Swim.
Yeah, they even talked about a swimming pool or something that made me think of Nights. I almost leaned over to Kirk and was like, Night Swim.
I almost want to see Afraid just to fucking tap into those emotions.
That movie is ridiculous.
I read the whole synopsis. I know how it ends. I'm like, wow, what the fuck were you thinking?
Kirk, you didn't see it yet, right?
I haven't seen it. No.
None of us have seen it. Nick ruins things for himself. It's a classic. So what are going to be the highlights of the post you will write, Movie Man T, about this movie? Tell me why I'm wrong. And I know you're going to try not to spoil it, as you typically do in your reviews, because you're trying to convince.
Well, I keep it vague. I try to.
Keep it vague. Nick's going to see...
No, I mean, when I do my posts, I try to keep it as vague as possible. I try to keep it simple, not
That's why we have you on here this week, because we knew that Nick was going to you know, I just thought of puss out and bitch out, wait, what?
Magically show up the last minute?
No, I didn't think he was going to magically show up at the last minute. Honestly, when we set this over a week ago, I knew he wasn't going to show up on some level. Because it's like, oh, if we make the earlier we make the plan, the less likely Nick is to be there. Is that accurate and fair, brother?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, that's all. I'm in a bad mood because when a movie like pisses me off, I'm in a bad mood. When I see a good movie, I'm in an actively good mood. It's very easily. My emotions are easily manipulated by movies.
Can you tell us what made you so mad about it without spoilers? Like
Yes. So I would go to your argument about the first one in that who is the main character?
Oh yeah.
What plot are we supposed to pay attention to? And then arguably because there are so many threads, none is actively developed as much or as well as even the cartoon, which we have on muted in the background for inspiration to our thoughts and discussion. And I just don't think, I think Tim Burton lost a step because he hasn't made a movie in 5 years. Dumbo wrecked him. I read an interview where he was like, I was just trying to get back to liking making movies again, and he got distracted making Wednesday, which I finished today, and also made me mad because there's too much CGI. I did not care about the mystery. Yeah. I forgot there was one. I don't know. Kirk.
Well, and I'm finding at a certain point, you can only take so much of Jenna Ortega being like,
yeah, that kiss mouth.
Oh, Apex Mountain, Jenna Ortega, this, or has she already hit the peak, Taylor?
She's past the peak.
Oh, what? I said Movie Man T.
Well, sorry, but I'm just weighing in.
Where was Jenna Ortega's Apex Mountain Movie Man T to steal from another podcast? Oh, I killed a mosquito.
Have to be Wednesday.
You think Wednesday was her
That's when she blew up. And I always get confused at the Apex description when they do rewatchables, and no one seems to know the exact definition. But if where they usually go with where they blow up, it was Wednesday.
She blew up on Wednesday. I don't think that's because the Apex, I think, is when you are both recognized for being good and also your goodest or greatest.
Which was Wednesday if you talk to a lot of people. Not saying you agree. I'm just saying that's what most people say, though.
You're right.
Everybody loved her on there because she blew up on TikTok.
I guess maybe, for the dance, sure. And here's the other thing, is that there's no moment in this movie I would point to and say, oh, this is something unique and special. Maybe the one there is so this is a movie about death and people die. There is one character death that I'll save for the second half that actually touched me, but it was handled in such a way that the movie wanted me to laugh at it. And I was like, no, this is the only character I care about. And this is, so I just feel like the movie's intention and tone and then how it made me feel, none of those things ever met at the same time. All three of those things have to meet. And I think I only thought that for Beetlejuice 1 because I was a child when I saw it the first time. Yeah. It was already successful when I was a young lad. You saw it in a movie theater.
I remember seeing it when I was 4.
Yes. Delightful.
Went to Arby's afterward.
Wow.
What'd you get?
Roast beef. Fucking roast beef. They didn't have their fancy shit back then. They didn't have fucking panini.
Did you have curly fries?
1988. They didn't. I don't even know if they had curly fries back in 1988. Remember, Arby's used to have regular fries.
Also, the potato cakes weren't an original.
Yeah, they might not have even had those. And then they had regular fries. They were like Wendy's fries, and then they got rid of regular fries completely, and now they brought back crinkle fries. For a while, they only had curly fries, but no, they had regular. Actually, I want to say their regular fries were more like McDonald's, more like skinny.
In the rural environment where I grew up, we did not have an Arby's, nor did we have a Wendy's. So those are the type of things you got when you went on vacation with my adopted family. So, Movie Man T, what I'm trying to get out of you is, what are the highlights of this post that you're going to... Because you're going to tell people, oh, I think you should see it because it hits X, Y, and Z. I guess I'm asking you, what is the X, what is the Y, what is the Z? I could keep going on about what I did not like and how the tone, like, it felt like so for the money, and like so many ideas that got started but not finished. I'm sorry, that's just, and then like the way things were concluded.
Not to sidebar, but that's the big issue with Joker too. Not to sidestep here, but that's the big issue. Is it seems like it's a cash grab.
Yeah, I believe it. Sorry?
That's too bad then for Joker 2.
Yeah, folie à deux.
I mean, I'll hold my reserves till I see it, but that's a lot of what I'm hearing out of Venice.
Ooh, out of Venice. Ted Hope, who won't care that I name drop him because I don't know him, I've been in a room with him once, has come out with something like, how do you tell the difference between Toronto, Venice, and another one of these festivals that I wouldn't go to unless I was working it? To define, like, oh, these are all just tastemakers for what's going to be the lauded movies at the end of the year. Beetlejuice will not be one of them. Now we've said Beetlejuice 3 times on this podcast, so...
Well, he's appeared on the TV.
That's the rule.
Wait, what?
It has to be in a row, right? That's the rule?
No, I think you just have to
supposedly?
say it 3 different times.
Oh, even from a different person? Like, one person say it
It
two
has to be
times?
the same person, I think.
So,
You mean they never laid this out in either movie?
Oh, it's almost like
technically, yeah, they didn't.
It's
Kind of
almost
like
the rules
how
are
we never know why is he a fucking miniature in the model town?
I genuinely believe that is a way for them to show the connection between the beyond and the real world, and that it just so happens that the Maitlands were able to tap into something with the beyond by dealing so heavily in recreating reality.
You could look at it that way, but they don't put it on screen.
There is even a connection between the afterlife and the further solar system, which again, this is not a detail that ruins anything for you.
Well, yeah, because the Saturn is where the fucking sandworms live.
Wait,
right?
what? How do you?
They mentioned Saturn in the first one. It's
Yeah.
you're on
Moon's
Saturn.
Saturn.
Oh, the
You've been to
sandworm.
Saturn. I've been to Saturn. Yeah.
Wait, but you know specifically the sandworms
Our Saturn. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why that is. I guess I don't really need to know, but like I'm more like if you're gonna establish a link between the world of living and the world of the dead, like make it make sense. Like you have the power to establish your own mythology. You can make it make sense. It doesn't require a lot of work to make it make sense within your own mythology. You just have to kind of lay it out. You don't need to give me a 300-page like fucking instruction manual on how it works. You just need to drop a few hints here
They
and there.
literally have that in the movie, though. They have a 300-page instruction manual that.
But we don't get to read that though.
You're right, and we see more of it in this one, but not in a way that I would say, "Hey, you're really gonna like this." The other
so that's irrelevant because we don't get to page through it ourselves to figure out why a model town that Alec Baldwin built is like a portal for him. That we never get to see that. We never get to see those pages. So
sure, I'm inferring that. You're right.
It doesn't matter.
Just to take it back to Saturn, the astral plane, and the beyond, Fucker Tarleson believes that there aren't aliens, but there are angels, so...
Tucker Carlson is a fucking idiot.
Hey, he's more
Nice
successful
bow tie,
than you or
fucking
me.
dick face.
He stopped wearing the bow tie, okay? He's a fly fisherman. Leave him alone. He likes to tie things. Kirk, what are your strong thoughts about this movie? Well, Movie Man T gives us the XYZ of... Like, I just want to find out what's going to be on his Facebook
Well,
post.
what do you want me to go first, or you want?
Well, I want you're not as
first?
famous of a movie
wow.
reviewer yet.
Thanks.
Only on this, you're a Farx
Great,
brother.
way to
Obviously,
call
the
me out.
brand is strong, but like your personal brand, you're not risking as much as Movie
No,
Man
I'm
T
not.
is.
I thought the movie had too much going on, and they couldn't really pinpoint and focus. I didn't like. It didn't do anything interesting about death. I thought it was we kind of have the same things for the living, and now we have the same things for the dead. It's not very interesting at all.
Well, and Nick could talk in detail about how that's one of the things that got expanded on in the script, because in preparation for the pod, he was like, go read through how the script went through development, and that's one of the things they highlighted between the major revisions, and also like how Beetlejuice kills himself in the original is part of what I read.
Oh, he like hung himself. He was depressed about a woman or something.
Yeah, that's not canon anymore.
It's not canon. Yeah, because they released a clip where like they talk about his backstory with Monica Bellucci. So.
Oh,
like,
okay.
They released that publicly, so like I've seen that.
Oh, is it in another language?
Yeah, it was totally in Italian with subtitles.
Yeah, I saw it too.
I don't know if it was that way in the movie.
It is.
Okay.
I
would say you've already seen it, so.
I really, so that correlates to a climax moment where, you know how when someone, they're not speaking the other language, but things are going on and it's kind of disjointed?
What do you mean they're not speaking the other language?
Well, okay, where they're showing them go through the motions of that scene,
and they're just putting subtitles. And you're saying
yes,
like yeah,
and the Italian that you're hearing was like, oh well, I'm sure Michael Keaton had it written out phonetically for him, or they just hired an Italian actor to read those lines and say them.
I didn't think it was his voice at all to begin with. So.
Okay, so there are other moments like that could be climactic or supposedly impactful that ring hollow because, well, I know that's not them saying those words. So, and you're making it obvious, and you're not making it obvious with purpose. It's just I don't know. So, Movie Man T, hit me with anything, the X, the Y, or the Z of what your post will highlight, convincing the masses that you command to go see it.
All right. Obviously, the highlights are going to be Keaton and O'Hara. Obviously.
Keaton and Catherine O'Hara, not Winona Ryder, or Winnow as it's on Johnny Depp's Bad Tattoo.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to be such a pushover in this movie. Because she's kind of...
Winona Ryder?
Yeah, Winona Ryder's character is a lot more...
Lydia Dietz?
Yeah, outgoing, even though she's obsessed with dying in the first one, but she's a lot more standing up for herself. She's not gonna take anybody's bullshit, but in this one, she rose over like nothing.
She took more bullshit because she's a mom. Okay. I like that.
Which, is that a solid character development, or is that a... I give them power for doing that, but was it the right move?
You give them power. Tell me more. Tell me how you give people power. Like, I've heard
I'm not saying power, I'm just saying
it makes sense because you are weakened. As the only parent here, I can save your ass and say, like, yes, there are many moments where kids emasculate you and make you feel like less of a person, and then that takes some of your power away. So by acknowledging the reality of that, hands over some power. Is it clear in the first movie, and Movie Man T, I'm coming back to you, but is it clear in the first movie that Catherine O'Hara is her stepmom?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I just did not give a shit the last time I watched Beetlejuice with my 2 kids and wife in 2 segments. I remember enjoying Beetlejuice last Halloween with my, at the time, 3-year-old, almost 4, and her being really into it because she likes Tim Burton movies. That year, on Christmas, 2 months later, we watched Batman Returns, and it's like a seminal moment for me with my children watching Batman Returns on Christmas, which is a Christmas movie. I'm going to try to make it a thing. And I want to shit on marriage also. Not shit on marriage, but talk about how this movie doesn't understand marriage, and that makes me very angry because it's a theme in both movies,
It's a theme well...
There's a theme of marriage in the first movie. He's trying to marry a 15-year-old. He's a weirdo.
That's not a theme.
Okay.
Just because he wants to marry the 15-year-old, that's not a theme.
Sure. But they talk about marriage a lot, and it is a goal, it's a plot point, and I am not spoiling anything, I think, by saying that is present in this movie.
Yeah. I know, like, there's Beetlejuice's wife. I'm sure it's more of a theme in this than it is, like, just... Yeah. I'm sure it is.
Oh, you know already going in that Monica... Like, I have not watched the trailers.
I watched the trailers, yeah.
And I'm glad I didn't because I think I would have been even more pissed or something coming out of it. Because, okay, Tim Burton, he fucked up his marriage with his wife and children, and so that he could bang the woman who was in Penny Dreadful and his
Helena Bonham. Wait, he was married to someone else before Helena Bonham Carter?
No, I think he had kids with Helena Bonham Carter, and then he fucked up his marriage with her so that he could go after James Bond's dead wife from Casino Royale.
Ava Green?
Yeah, he goes for Ava Green.
Who he cast in Miss Peregrine's.
Yeah, that movie blew so hard. I couldn't even get through it on Netflix.
What's funny, I mean, I saw, what's funny
in the theater?
I saw that in the theater with the girl I was dating at the time because she wanted to go see it. I actually didn't mind it.
Was she 18?
What? She was 18? No.
30?
She was
40? 20?
She was probably, what was I at the time? I was 32. She's probably 27.
All right.
28.
Cool.
I mean,
Did she like it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she did.
Kurt's got thoughts.
No. My thoughts are going off the rails. So
You were thinking of Beetlejuice 1 situation.
I'm like, this is not peak Tim Burton, but this is I'm like, I don't mind this. Like when it showed up on HBO a year later when I had free HBO, like I would leave it on.
Okay, did any part of it though feel like, hey, this isn't like Kmart Harry Potter? Like, hey kids, we have Harry Potter at home. We don't need to go watch Mrs. Peregrine's.
We have homemade Harry Potter.
Yeah, we have homemade Harry Potter. I could not get through that.
It's like the burger with the ground beef just smashed together with the onion and the green pepper.
Oh, but
like Eddie Murphy's thing from whatever. We don't need to go to McDonald's.
Are you doing Eddie Murphy?
I can do Eddie Murphy. No, I can't.
Really, I wish you would. That is actually.
Yeah, but shit, it's like a marker.
There is a part of this movie where they refer to a thing from black culture in the 70s that there are no black people in this movie. And when that part is referred to and then they do it, I'm like, oh, okay. Tim Burton can get away with that in 2024, I guess. And these guys know what I'm talking about, but...
I thought that was really uncreative what he did with that.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I also was... Yeah.
Does it have to do with them like dancing around, like what I've seen in the trailer of them dancing around the train station? Like I see I saw this looks like the fucking Wiz, like the Wiz.
So
in the trailer, this is like
coming out the same year as Inside
Sammy
Out
Davis
2.
Jr. is about to show up as the fucking Tin Man. I don't know.
Once a day you hear a reference to Wizard of Oz and honey, that's me winning again. I'll explain that at a different time. So coming out the same year as Inside Out, which has like very good representations of, let's say, train of thought. So there's a train station, there's dancing. I'm not telling you what it is, but train of thought at least has a purpose.
It's like
in
Soul
Inside
Train.
Out.
It's like an episode of Soul Train.
I don't know, maybe.
Oh, maybe
this is the non-spoiler part of the episode,
fine.
Nick.
That's fine. I'll be surprised when I go see it in a few days.
Movie Man T, give me one other piece about what you're going to say in your ultimate review.
Well, I'm going to be on probably a hill by myself on this one, but I thought Justin Theroux was hilarious in this movie.
I did like him. I wondered what the fuck he was doing in this movie.
He is randomly in it, but goddamn is he hilarious.
He's... Okay, what I'm wondering about is why, this is extra textual, but I was like, why is he in this movie? He helped write Iron Man 2. He was in The Leftovers, which is a very, very good...
Co-wrote Tropic Thunder.
Yes, he did.
Co-wrote Tropic Thunder, yeah. Like, what is he doing in this movie? He's aware of... what's going on, I assume, in this movie. And there are probably good ideas at different points in different scripts. Can we talk about Seth Graham Smith?
Yeah, everything I've seen his name attached to, that never looked good to me. Like the...
Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies is the only thing that I could go, I like that.
The Abraham Lincoln one...
The book is great. The movie sucks.
But he wrote the script for it. And
he wrote the book.
Oh, he wrote the book.
He wrote the book and he wrote the script.
Well,
I think the movie got effed. The book was great. Like he's written, because he wrote Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies, and then he wrote Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Okay,
and he's been working on this for 12 fucking years, but...
Is he the writer on this film?
He's
one of the writers.
For 12 years? Is this really an iteration of Beetlejuice 2 that has been on the shelf for 12 years, though? It's not. This is not Beetlejuice
He's been
Hawaiian.
attached to it for 12 years.
Yeah, but this draft, I bet this draft is only like 3 years old. I bet this concept is only like 3 years old.
What I am fascinated and excited for someday coming out is what pieces of this they had 10 years ago that made it to now. Because I can't...
My guess is Lydia's daughter probably was always an idea. I assume that's where the groundwork was laid.
Once it got beyond Beetlejuice Goes Hawaiian, yeah, and it got into like the 2000s, yeah.
Wait, there was a movie called Beetlejuice Goes Hawaiian. Okay.
Like, no, they had a script. Beetlejuice Goes Hawaiian in 1990. Uh-huh. They had like a sequel ready to go. It's very similar to like the Lost Boys. Same studio, maybe not coincidentally, I don't know. Like they had a script ready to go for a sequel to Lost Boys around the same time, a couple years after the first. It didn't pan out.
But they've made sequels to Lost Boys,
eventually,
like 2 or 3.
Eventually.
But did they use those?
No. Eventually it happened, but not with the same... No Joel Schumacher and no original script. It's some shitty... Like, you know, they were shitty. They were in straight to video.
I just think that this movie makes the first one worse retroactively, like Zoolander 2 and Dumb and Dumber 2 TO.
I don't.
We keep coming back to this.
I don't feel like Dumb and Dumber 2 makes the first worse. I just don't think it's that good.
Yeah, it's not a movie I'll ever revisit. I guess I'll put it that way. And I'm never gonna watch Zoolander 2, but I'm looking forward to showing Dumb and Dumber to my kids because my nephew's seen it and he's 6 or 7.
Just watch it on its own and just forget that there's Dumb and Dumberer and Dumber and Dumber. Forget that there's.
That's what I think this movie is gonna be. In like 3 or 4 years, this movie might even do well at the box office. But people are not going to hold it in high esteem in a little while. It's not Rocky 6.
Oh,
Rocky Balboa.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you just want me to do what I gotta do. You want me?
No, we thought we were done when we're coming back for another one.
Hey, the juice is loose.
We don't want to put a 6 on it because that seems outdated, so we're just gonna put my last name on it.
I cannot tell you how mad I am about the references to Juice in this one because I do not feel they were respectful of O.J. Simpson.
They're talking about O.J.
Well, they call him Mr. Juice.
Oh.
And also there were a couple... so early on this movie was like, oh, maybe I'm going to enjoy this because, like, here's a cameo I like and...
Jeffrey Jones.
No, okay. You know this going into the movie. Jeffrey Jones can't be in the movie.
He cannot,
so the degree to which he plays into the plot and they even show his character, and I liked the inventive way in which they show...
It's like claymation, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Of course you ruined it for yourself. I was surprised and excited by that, and I was like, oh, maybe this movie will have new ideas.
Is the claymation Jeffrey Jones like taking pictures of a 14-year-old boy?
No.
A clay 14-year-old boy?
Well, wouldn't he be asking for pictures
penis?
Oh my God. Of a
clay camera?
Hey, his lawyer would like us to know, because when I read this on Wikipedia earlier this week, he never initiated contact. If your lawyer is saying that, you're screwed. Principal from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. You need a day off of being in polite society. Also, there was a point in this movie where I whispered to Kirk, Beetlejuice Ex Machina, and I felt very clever for that. I'm not going to tell you what moment, but you'll know.
I'm sure I will.
You'll be like, ugh.
I feel like they might have had... I think there was one moment that's more Beetlejuice Machina than...
Beetlejuice Ex Machina.
Yeah.
It's Ex Machina is the...
Right.
Yeah. Kirk, say something negative about this movie while Taylor reaches for another positive thing.
I mean, I give it 2 negative points already.
Talk about how much you didn't like the first one.
Well, it's not that I didn't like it. I thought the story was creative. It was a new world, and you jumped right in. You know, spoilers for a decades old movie, but you kill off the characters immediately. But the new one had a lot of setup that you had to go through. There was so many character introductions, and then you introduce it. Like, I didn't like how all you need is a man. You know, all you need is a man in your life, because Jenna Ortega, all you need is a man, and you'll get over that, hitting your mom kind of thing. It's just, it didn't.
No man in this movie is good. All the women, and like, women are aggrieved by men. I don't have a problem with that. I'm just pointing it out. I think that goes along with goth culture. Taylor, anything? Come on, give us.
To piggyback off that, you could say Defoe kind of is a good.
Defoe is a good. No. Clearly, he is being propped up by his assistant. She is the more the only things of substance.
Well, I guess she's the one keeping him together. Yeah.
Yes, the only. Sorry, and thank you, Movie Man T. So like when you talk to the casuals, you talk to normal people. We're not normal people. We see 3 movies a week. No, really, that we see more than 2 movies a year puts us in the external 50%.
Is that what the average is for a casual?
Yeah, the casuals see like 1 or 2 movies a year on average. And if you ever want to...
So most people blew their wad last year with Oppenheimer and Barbie, and that was it for the year?
Yeah, probably. So it's like, I saw Top Gun, I saw Barbie or Oppenheimer, and then... This year, it might have been, maybe Deadpool and Wolverine.
That's up there. Twisters is killing it. It's got legs right now. It blows my mind.
It does. But it's not doing well internationally. And like
that did surprise me, but I guess that shouldn't surprise me.
No, it's because people don't care about flat America outside of America. No, it's just like, if it's about Oklahoma, I've never seen...
Which I heard it's doing well there.
Oh, really? Yeah, but for all less than 2 million people that live in fucking Oklahoma, and no offense to anyone that lives in Oklahoma, I've driven through your flat-ass state, and there's a reason God spurns you with fucking spinning hair, because it's so fucking boring.
What sort of natural disasters overseas do they get? They got hurricanes and all sorts of shit. They look at a tornado and like, what the fuck do I care about a fucking tornado? There's twins? I don't give a fuck. I dealt with a hurricane last week.
Hey.
I'm still looking for the body of my children.
Natural disasters overseas are U.S. intervention. Sorry, this is not a political podcast, as I'm reminded.
Well, that's another variety of disaster, but like they're still the ones that happen naturally. And it's like, if my kid got swept away in a fucking typhoon, like last week, I don't care about 2 tornadoes.
Let's try to blast through the big points of this for Nick. Practical effects. Yay or nay, Kirk? Good use,
nay.
Bad use?
Nay. I liked it more practical in the first one.
Oh, man. Yeah. Movie Man T, are you going to be talking about the practical effects in this?
I agree with Kirk. The first is better, but there is some fun stuff in the second one.
Should the cartoon be canon?
I haven't seen it.
I've never really seen it, so that's hard.
Oh, see, this might be the difference between our ages is that, Nick, did you grow up on the cartoon the same way I did?
No, I was aware of it, but I never watched it, really.
I think I came to the Beetlejuice lore more through the cartoon.
The cartoon should never be canon. There was a Dumb and Dumber cartoon, too.
I always forget about that.
There was a Dumb and Dumber movie that's no longer canon. Dumb and Dumberer is not canon.
The prequel?
Yeah.
Oh, when Harry met Lloyd.
Yeah, because like Harry's mom is Mimi Rogers in Dumb and Dumber, and then in Dumb and Dumber 2, it's like he's adopted by 2 Asians. His Asian parents are like, and they make the fucking, of course, the jokes about like so long or whatever, and it's the L and the R. It's just very obvious low hanging fruit jokes.
I see. It's I'm so Ronry kind of thing.
Fairly Brothers classic.
That. Yes, yeah. Which is what I was saying. Like you can have the same directors as the original, and they can come back for a sequel and it still sucks.
Hey, Prometheus is great, and that's a prequel, so it's not a good example.
Yeah, and then Covenant.
I love Covenant. They have a back exploder. Screw you. What is your Tim Burton movie? Like, what is a Tim Burton movie any of you like? Sleepy Hollow for me.
Edward Scissorhands.
Edward Scissorhands? Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Okay, showed that one to the kids.
Just be clear, he didn't direct that.
Yeah, he produced it. Okay. But his
name is slapped all over it, though.
It's Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas, I think.
Sure.
Taylor, what's your...
That's marketing, but...
Excuse me, Movie Man, Tinker Taylor, Movie Man T. What's your Tim Burton? Say like Mars Attacks or something cool.
That is him, isn't it?
Dumbo.
I always forget that.
Dumbo,
Yeah, say Dumbo. Say 2019 Dumbo.
You fucker, it's Dumbo.
I like 2019 Dumbo.
I have to see it again. I've only seen it once.
I watched it twice. I watched it again with the kids in this garage last year, and it was highly enjoyed. Maybe this year. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. The point is that Tim Burton's Dumbo, great. Sleepy Hollow, where they kill the kid and steal his head, hilarious. Saw it as a child, enjoyed it.
I saw it in theater, yeah.
You saw that in the theater?
I saw Sleepy
Pre 9/11?
Yeah, I would have been like, what, 15?
What does that have to do with theater?
I just remember like it was a 2000 movie with Johnny Depp, and like back when.
Okay.
Do you think he doesn't like Johnny Depp anymore now that he's hanging out with Winona Ryder? Like, let's wildly speculate on Tim Burton's relationship
Who's hanging
with.
out with Winona Ryder now?
What? Wait.
No, you said now that he's hanging out with who's hanging out with Winona?
Tim Burton, because he's in this. He's making this movie with her, and like.
What does that have to do with Johnny Depp?
Because Johnny Depp has a Winona Ryder tattoo, and he stopped working with Winona Ryder while he was doing all those Johnny Depp movies up until Dark Shadows. Was that the last one? And then he comes back around to Winona Ryder when Johnny Depp is not a viable movie star anymore. I think he's a fair weather friend. Period.
Probably. Yeah, maybe. I mean, Johnny Depp isn't in Beetlejuice 2 now, is he?
Exactly. Okay. Movie Man T. What else is going to be in the when you talk to the casuals?
Oh, you were asking my favorite Burton first.
I know. Wait, did you come up with your favorite Burton? You looked.
Well, I had to because I always forget certain ones he does. But it's like, do I do the hot take and say Planet of the Apes? So I'm not going to.
Ooh,
I'm not.
I mean, I like that one.
That's all right.
What are you going to say?
It's probably either Batman or Beetlejuice for me because that's what I grew up with.
Yeah, I get that.
I know Big Fish is a lot of people's, but I've never seen it.
Oh, fuck!
I've never seen it, though.
I remember asking a girl in high school to see Big Fish, and she couldn't on the day that I asked her because it was like, hey, and I'd already seen it.
I'm washing my hair.
Is that the excuse she gave you, Cal?
She saw Spanglish with me at a different time. She's never going to hear this, but maybe she will, hopefully, because it's so popular.
Yeah, she's an avid listener.
but-
One of the 12 people.
The 12 people?
Yeah, we have 12 listeners who listen regularly. Thank you.
Hey,
It was 11.
yeah, she might be number 11. Michael Keaton. What is your Keaton, and where are you? No, I'm just like, because I don't think Michael Keaton's okay. I don't think Tim Burton's okay. I think Michael Keaton is wildly swinging at fences and missing. I think this is a miss. I think showing up at the end of Morbius was a miss. I think The Flash was a miss, even though I liked it. And I would argue that is a better movie than Beetlejuice. The Flash, with known, whatever you call the Flash now that he, is grooming a young native boy or whatever, however we're supposed to talk about. Hey, that's on record. I don't have to.
How long ago was Birdman? I mean, that was a good Michael Keaton film.
Yes, that was 10 years ago. That was 2014.
Dopesick, he was good in the Hulu series.
I still need to see that.
You're right. He is very good in Dopesick. I liked Dopesick. And what's her name from Mean Girls playing the...
You mean Booksmart? Caitlin Dever?
No, not Caitlin Dever. The
Dever?
Girl who tells the weather in Mean Girls by doing this.
Amanda Seyfried.
Yeah, she plays the... am I confusing Dopesick with the one where... Oh, I'm confusing it with the one where the woman lies about the blood testing.
Yeah, she played
That's
Elizabeth
Amanda
Holmes.
Seyfried. Yeah. She played Elizabeth Holmes.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Holmes.
Hi, I'm doing it, yeah.
We can do a million different blood tests from one drop of blood.
I apologize. I am combining those two Hulu series. Wait, what was that?
Because there are a few recordings where you hear her drop the voice.
Oh, yeah.
I wear a black turtleneck just like Steve Jobs, and this is why you should give me money to fund my next round of funding.
Man, it's almost like healthcare. There's a bunch of fraud that goes on. They made two very well-regarded series within a short amount of time that one Michael Keaton was in, one Amanda Seyfried was in. Yeah, I'm worried about Michael Keaton, and I feel like he's wildly swinging at fences and missing.
He's making money. I mean, like, you're a capitalist. Why should he not get to make? Why should he not be a capitalist? If in The Flash is a stupid fucking movie, and Morbius is a stupid fucking movie.
Obviously, Morbius is cash grab though. He's like, here you go.
Like, how much did he get to show up at the end of Morbius? And then was cut out of Morbius.
Well, I mean, more or less money is money. I mean, he probably took whatever, but hey, you didn't even show up for 2 scenes, I'll be there. I don't know what's going on because that interview was hilarious. I don't remember if it was Fallon, but he's like, yeah, I don't know what's going on in these movies. I'm just there.
Wow.
Yeah, and like he doesn't care that Batgirl got Batgirled. I like referring to Batgirl as getting Batgirled because he plays Batman again in Batgirl.
Yeah.
If that continuity had gone forward, but no one gets to see it now, and he doesn't care.
Well, he got paid though, I'm sure.
Yeah, but like, at what point is he an artist, and at what point is he? Because he didn't come back for Batman 3 because Tim Burton was not going to be in it.
Yeah, but that seems to me that's more of an artist thing than I'm sure they would have paid him. So that if you're not coming back because your director that you developed a relationship with is not coming back, that definitely seems more about art, on the artistic side of the argument than the money. I'm sure Warner Brothers would have coughed up the money if he was like, oh yeah, I'll work with Joel Schumacher, and Joel Schumacher wants to put me in a suit with fucking nipples on it.
That was Batman and Robin. That's not till the one after Batman Forever.
The nipples didn't come till Batman and Robin?
Yeah, Batman and Robin, the fourth Batman movie, not including the Adam West one.
Which doesn't count anyway.
Hey, they had shark spray in that. Leave it alone. What makes this horror?
It's not a horror movie. There's no argument there, I think.
Have any of you ever been goth or tried to date a goth? Kirk?
No.
Nope.
Movie Man T?
I've never been goth.
You've definitely gone after goth girls.
I'm trying to think if I did. I don't think
like
I did.
Like in high school? No. After high school?
No.
When you were a pizza delivery man, you never saw some girl with black lipstick and dark hair and were like, hey, I'm sure you're going to enjoy this pizza, but also...
No. There's a difference between finding goth girls attractive and actually going after goth girls. So.
Tell me more about it, Kirk.
I mean, there are attractive goth girls, but I never actually went after them, try to date them.
How much do you think the Reagan era influenced Beetlejuice 1, Kirk?
I'm not caught up on the Reagan administration, so I can't answer.
Well, any day now, we're going to start seeing trickle down. Even though it's been 40 years, so that's all you need to know.
Oh, I want you to think of trickle down in one specific scene of this movie, Brother Nick, when for whatever reason something trickles down, and you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Why did that happen? I don't know why that trickled down, but whatever.
It fit with the song, didn't it?
Yeah,
it was with the song.
Yeah.
Shit. Would a double feature of Beetlejuice and Black Klansman make as much sense to everyone else as it makes to me?
Beetlejuice 1 or 2?
Beetlejuice 1.
With Black Klansman?
With Black Klansman.
That's an interesting
combo. Do you want me to tell you why?
That's an interesting combo.
None of you know why?
No.
Harry Belafonte's last movie was Black Klansman, and his music features heavily in Beetlejuice 1.
Well, I mean, I don't think that's a reason to play both movies back to back. I mean, think about all the musical artists who have their music in movies and all the different variety of movies that their music is in. You can't just pick any two and say, oh, this would be good back to back.
But wouldn't you argue that Beetlejuice 1 significantly uses a couple of songs from Harry?
It definitely does. Obviously, the Deo one and the one at the end.
Yeah.
Sure, but what does that mean? So what?
It's an impactful part of the movie, just like when Harry Belafonte shows up in Black Klansman. It is an impactful part. That is how you pronounce the title of it.
What does he do in Black Klansman, though?
He's the
does
what
he
do you
sing
call it?
Fucking Deo?
The civil rights leader that comes to give the speech that they cut between that and the watching of the what is it? That one horribly racist movie that by the Klans people that invented where you show two scenes happening at the same time, and then you're cutting between them. That because it was I think Jackson, who was ever president in like 1921. It was the first movie shown in the White House.
Birth of a Nation?
Yeah, Birth of a Nation.
Okay.
So there's a bunch of, and I've watched this movie with you and a director we've worked with, and my wife, and all of you were like super depressed after the movie.
I watched Birth of a Nation with you?
No, you watched Black Klansman with me.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What?
I'm just trying to think. I don't remember. I don't remember watching.
Yeah,
Birth of a Nation.
you and another person, a director we've worked with, came over. We watched it on 4K. I've shown that movie to several people because I think it's one of Spike Lee's best movies. And
I remember watching Black Klansman. Yeah, I thought you were talking about Birth of a Nation.
No. Black Klansman is what I'm talking about. How would you pronounce that title?
Black Klansman, that's it.
There's 3 Ks. Black, that's the first K. That's the second K. Klansman, that's the third K. That's intentional by Spike Lee. You tell me
we're
that's not.
debating Beetlejuice,
not
Black Klansman. We're debating Beetlejuice, not Black Klansman.
I just want people to wonder if they should be watching Black Klansman right now instead of thinking about Beetlejuice, which is honestly just 80s crap that is being regurgitated to us in a sick way, because honestly, I think the true genius of Beetlejuice is in the cartoon that we have playing right now. Movie Man T, would Representative Lauren Boebert jerk off a Democrat while watching this movie, even though there's no singing?
And I don't get that reference.
Representative Lauren Boebert was kicked out of a musical performance of Beetlejuice last year.
That's right.
Because she was vaping and possibly jerking off a Democrat. Or not a rep, but what?
Her boyfriend or her husband, right?
No, it wasn't her husband. It was a guy she had gone on a couple dates with and then immediately broke up with, and he went to the press.
I thought she was married.
She was married. She is no longer married. She has a teenage son, maybe in his 20s. I don't need to know. She owned a bar called Shooters or Triggers or something, and she was at a musical performance of Beetlejuice where she is seen, just rubbing his leg or whatever. I don't know. You ever rub your significant others?
A lot more than that.
Getting that Beetlejuice out.
So now I know who it is. Now say the question again.
Do you think she would jerk off a Democrat to this movie? Is it so good that a Republican firebrand would jerk? Is this the kind of movie bringing people together from both sides of the aisle?
Well, you gotta compare apples to apples. That was the musical. You gotta wait for the musical of Beetlejuice Beetlejuice.
Are they gonna make a sequel to Beetlejuice the musical based off of this pile of crap that made me angry?
So now you know how I felt about Night Swim.
Listen, the difference between Night Swim and this is Night Swim is, can you make Haunted Swimming Pool into a 100-minute movie? This was, hey, can you come up with any 100 minutes that are competent after a cultural touchstone?
I could make jerking off into a 100-minute movie as long as I clench the right muscles.
You didn't see Night Swim with us, did you?
Huh?
You weren't with us that night, were you?
Which one?
Night
He
Swim.
couldn't have been.
No, I watched it on stream.
I saw it with you?
Yeah, it was it me, you, and Tapan?
Oh, man, that's great. Previous guest of the podcast frequently referred to stand-up comedian Tapan. Yeah.
I thought Nick was there, but that's right. That's right, he was trying to, but something came up, I think.
I think my dignity came up.
You saved yourself.
Yeah.
There was something in this movie that reminded me, it had the exact same, and you know how realtors play into Beetlejuice 1 and realtors play into Night Swim?
Sure.
They at least brought back all the important things to this movie. Nick, would Nicolas Cage have made a better Beetlejuice than Michael Keaton back in 1988? And now he would have actually eaten a bug.
I don't care. I don't care about that. That doesn't make a better Beetlejuice on the screen.
Yeah, he was barely in it. I mean, if Nicolas Cage could be Beetlejuice, I want him to be more than 17 minutes as Beetlejuice in the movie.
Nicolas Cage is in 17 minutes of Longlegs.
His Beetlejuice would be the same as Longlegs.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson?
No.
I think he'd actually try to play OJ.
Wow.
I don't think it would be very good.
I mean, he's playing John Madden next. Nothing can stop the cage.
Nor should it. Sorry, Nick. What were you saying?
I don't think Nicolas Cage's gift is like I don't think he's got the comedy. Like Michael Keaton was a stand-up comic before.
Yeah, and people say he was actually like serious, like he was a serious stand-up because that was the time when people would go into stand-up comedy and get like 5 to 10 minutes so that they could get discovered, and that somewhat happened for Keaton, but he, hasn't stayed on that path. It didn't stay on that path. And then,
Well, he didn't have to after he was Batman.
Well, think about this though. He broke through and then had some movies that did well, then had some movies that didn't do well, and Beetlejuice was his comeback in 1988.
He's had multiple comebacks.
Well,
hey, he doesn't like that term.
I don't know about, like, Batman was his breakthrough.
No,
well, like Beetlejuice, so Beetlejuice was like the introductory breakthrough, and then he was Batman. Like before that, it was like Mr. Mom, it was Johnny Dangerously. It was,
but Johnny Dangerously didn't do well.
I'm saying he didn't have a breakthrough and then stumble. I'm saying he had like, oh, this thing did okay, this thing didn't do okay. It was that back and forth for a while. Gung Ho did okay.
Okay,
like because that was the Ron Howard movie from like after.
No. But Night Shift and Mr. Mom did well, and then Johnny Dangerously and like I like Gung Ho, but it did not do well at the box office.
Yeah, but I'm saying like, did Night Shift really do well enough like for him to?
No, it was that back to back with Mr. Mom because Night Shift is 1982, and then the next year he's leading Mr. Mom.
Yeah,
and then he doesn't have a hit again for 5 years until Beetlejuice.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, like, and I don't think either Night Shift or Mr. Mom were as big of a hit as Beetlejuice, so I'm saying Beetlejuice is the hit.
There's a difference between,
like there are gradations to success, where it's like, here, he had a couple successful things, they didn't immediately lead to him being a breakout star, because he followed them up with Johnny Dangerously, but like...
And Gung
Ho. But... yeah, the hit. I don't think the thing that like put him like, made him a household name wasn't until Beetlejuice.
Sure, he wasn't solidified in his stardom until Beetlejuice, and Beetlejuice mixed with he played like an addict or something in the same year, is what convinced Warner Brothers to make him Batman because he was a controversial choice at the time, like Daniel Craig was in 2003 or 4 for Bond. Just to compare it to something.
Yeah, so it's a 1-2 punch of Beetlejuice and Batman.
Do you think moving to the country became relevant again during COVID like it does in Beetlejuice 1? See, things that do not spoil.
Moving to the country. They want to move to the country because the dad is a fucking freak. He can't have noise. He wants to be quiet while he develops his photographs of 14-year-old boys.
That's not what he says in Beetlejuice 1.
And Delia wants to, I don't know, she wants to make her fucking sculptures. So
I was just pointing out that people moving out of populous areas into less populous areas was a trend that occurred in the past 4 years, similar to what happens to the couple in Beetlejuice 1988. You see no correlation? Kirk, I turn to you. You're the more, okay.
I just thought there were rich people trying to buy like a summer house.
All right.
Yeah.
Movie Man T, tell me something else you're going to put in that Facebook review.
How long is this?
This better be in the comments of it. A link to this episode. Right before we hit the break, because Nick's going to leave and we got to talk about spoiler shit.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to get mad.
I'm almost done with this.
I can't wait.
I am pissed about something because there are good things in this I liked, and then there are things that just I don't even know how to express my rage. Say one nice thing so Nick goes off thinking, hey, maybe Saturday isn't going to be so bad. We should also record a third part after Nick sees it, which is like his thoughts.
I just cannot fathom how you hate this movie so much, but you liked Night Swim. That was one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
No. This is like Night Swim. The difference is the difficulty of the dive, as we've talked about many times. Like, haunted swimming pool is a stupid premise. This whole world of Beetlejuice has been thought about for 30 or 40 years at this point, and they didn't have it. This wasn't enough to come back to the market with, I would argue. It's competently made. In some areas, there are good thoughts and pieces. You're like reacting to...
Beetlejuice is like saying, eat me out.
He did say eat me out, but it was in the context of a children's cartoon.
Where
children wouldn't think that, Nick.
BJ's Roadhouse.
I mean, that's the only thing I can think of when I see that position from that perspective.
Okay, there's they did have a shot below his waist while he's sitting down, and we were watching the Beetlejuice cartoon on mute in the background.
He's waiting for a 15-year-old Lydia to eat him out.
Alright, should we end the non-spoiler
How old is
here?
Beetlejuice? Can you settle this for me? I'm sorry because
I think the fucking the clip they released, that whole black and white Italian backstory bit from the movie. That's 400 years ago. So he's 400 years old.
Okay, that's supposed to be 400 years because I thought that was the 1918 plague when I saw the movie because of the masks they had. Maybe. So that would make it he's over 100 years old. Yeah. But it doesn't matter. I didn't think he was hundreds of years old. I thought he was around 100. Spoiler section.
Wow.
Okay, I loved the baby because I am baby crazy. Do we all, without any a reckless abandon, like the baby?
Was the baby mostly CGI or was it practical? Was it a mix of both?
Mix of both.
Yeah, it's happening for sure.
I thought the baby coming back at the end in the bullshit dream sequence, they did so many bullshit.
What was that kind of threw me for a loop at the end. It's is this over? And then there's this, and then now it's over? What the hell? That was a swing.
I was scared it was all going to be a dream, but I was happy to know how Lydia saw her daughter's life working out in a positive way, I guess. I appreciated that internal, again, speaking as something I just said off, speaking as a parent. Something only a parent could understand. Did you like Justin Theroux? Let's say nice things about why his character worked for you, and I will tell you why it's superfluous and doesn't matter.
Well, when you put it that way, his character is pointless, I guess. It serves as a subplot point at the end that, surprise, why he was really with her.
Okay, yeah.
But I had fun with the character and the moments he had, is what I'm saying.
Kirk, how'd you feel about that reveal of what his true intentions were and motive?
I think it's a little cliche. I mean, I kind of expected it, but when he says it out loud, it's oh, hey, you're just kind of here to get money, and it's not anything new, but I don't think I would have expected Beetlejuice to do anything new, I guess, in a way.
It also kind of makes Lydia seem dumb, which I don't like because she's such a cool character in the first one, and then
she's a step ahead, kind of.
Yeah, she
kind of takes a not a down step, but a backward
Yeah, she's taking a step backwards because she can see dead people, but she can't see that this idiot is just an idiot. That I don't like. So let's pivot to who he ends up with, Monica Bellucci. What was the point of her?
She did not have to be in this movie because she did not play that big of a role. She didn't have that much story. And she just shows up, because I feel halfway through this movie they forgot about her because they were too focused on Jenna Ortega and the boyfriend in the middle of this movie, and then
that plot seemed to be the spine, but ultimately
that plot does work, to my opinion.
Yeah,
that plot does work, but all the other, the Monica Bellucci was a weird choice.
It's degraded by the whole.
We need a villain in this movie.
Well. An obvious villain? Or, there's 3 villains in the movie. Justin Theroux, Monica Bellucci, and then boyfriend. But, eliminate at least one of those. And I liked the sequence introducing her with Danny DeVito, and that's when I was still on board with the movie. And, maybe I'm going to like this, because we're going to see a bunch of, Tim Burton stalwarts show up and, have a little bit of fun. And
was DeVito the only one? Or were there some deep cut?
I
don't think so. Yeah, DeVito's the only cameo.
Whoever played Bob,
The shrugging head Bob. Yeah.
No, I love
was
Bob.
fine.
That's the like when they killed him. The movie thought it was funny, but I didn't. That
Was
bothered
that what
me.
you were referring to?
It's exactly what I was referring to.
Yeah, it was kind of like, were people laughing?
It was dark. I don't know. I don't
She
think
killed Bob, and like, the girl next to me was like, "Oh no, they killed Bob."
there wasn't a lot of laughing in this movie. Like when people laugh,
I was laughing at parts. I was.
Name 3 things you laughed at.
All right, what do you call the workers? The name tag guys.
The shrunken head guys?
Yeah, I absolutely was dying when they were in the convenience store and the one riding the bike. I thought that was hilarious. That was
The one riding the bike?
yeah, he's riding a bike when Justin Thoreau shows up, and then he's talking to the priest. The one's riding on a bike.
Oh, sure, when they escape the netherworld.
After they escape, yeah, that was the classic shenanigans.
All of that is good. I like that. Honestly, you should have had 5 more minutes of their antics and
Yeah, I was
take
kind of
up.
surprised it was quick. I thought there'd be, since they were in the world, there'd be a little more, but
They don't really wrap that up too, right? Because they just
Yeah, they're still there.
Yeah,
Oh
they're
yeah,
technically still there.
they're still running around at the end. Fuck this movie. It makes me madder the more I think about it. I'm sorry. Okay, so other tertiary characters, like why even have Jeffrey Jones's character be a significant part so that Catherine O'Hara has something to do?
he's not even there. He's like half there.
Yes, I was looking.
Honestly, I hate to sound dumb here, but I didn't know that was him at first until I saw the binoculars later and oh, that is the husband.
Yeah.
I didn't know it at first because I don't know if the dialogue, does he say who he is at the dry cleaner?
Yes.
So I kind of was it was muffled for a minute, so I missed that, but
I was tracking him very well because I was like, oh, they can't have this guy in this movie, even though he was in the Deadwood movie recently.
Yeah, but his face is still in the movie. I mean, why not just recast his face in the movie and just say it's the character?
Because I don't have a good answer for you. It was an awkward way to handle it, and that bothered me. Catherine O'Hara, tell me what Catherine O'Hara's arc in this was. Because I like her, and I was thinking, I'm even
she got the most laughs.
mildly attracted to her in this. I'll say it, I don't care. Tell us something about Catherine O'Hara and how you were sexually attracted to her in this movie.
It's those eyes.
Well, I want to say at least she's more or less the same character from the first one. 'Cause she's kind of in her bubble. She's more concerned about herself. She wants to have this public image that she wants to represent.
And that brings us to Lydia Dietz, what is her arc in this movie? She sucks at the beginning because she's it's kind of like Ghostbusters 2, where they're doing the birthday parties off of being Ghostbusters, but she's doing a public act. Like, how successful is her show? How are we able to tell how successful her show is from?
I mean, it's successful enough that she has a bunch of influencers show up at her wedding.
She doesn't have as much control in her own life as much as her daughter fixes her marriage to Beetlejuice. The shitty guy in her life.
They went all in on Ortega.
And I like that the bureaucracy of the afterlife is still a piece of this movie, but I don't feel as though it was well developed and for whatever reason tacked on as this Willem Dafoe thing. Which, had I not watched part of Kinds of Kindness yesterday, which is the #1 movie on Hulu, as of yesterday, when we are recording this in the year of our Lord 2024, it just really threw me for a loop to see Willem Dafoe basically being the same, unhinged Willem Dafoe performance.
I just don't. I mean, given how kind of creative and new the world was in Beetlejuice, to have Beetlejuice just have them have cops in the afterlife seems kind of
And why is he an actor?
Yeah.
Why is he an actor cop? How does he get to be the head of the undead police as a former actor who got blown up by a live grenade? And that's one of the plots too many. Take out Willem Dafoe, take out Monica Bellucci, focus more on Bob. Don't kill Bob. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry to say it, but Minions movies have more control of the story than this did.
Well, it's a bold statement because I haven't seen Minions.
Did you see 4?
I've seen all 6 Minions movies.
I was disappointed in 4. I was shocked. The story was kind of flat.
So, yeah, there were probably too many things going on in 4, similar to this.
Adding the baby and all that, yeah.
No, yeah.
Sorry, spoilers for Despicable Me 4.
Not really a spoiler. Just that there's 7 plots going on at the same time.
Well, and the minions kind of get pushed aside, which they know that's their bread and butter. Why
they have their own series, okay? They will do another.
We come there for them guys.
Do we come there for those guys? I'm sure.
Everybody goes to Despicable Me for the minions.
And Bob is a minion. Bob, Kevin.
Essentially, yeah.
I used to. About a month or so ago, when my 2 daughters were going through the Minions movies for one of their first times, maybe it was both their first times, I can't totally recall. I could tell you each of the Minions and what their names were and what the difference between the ones in the prequels and the new ones are. Kirk seems pretty impressed by this.
Yeah,
put your boner down, Kirk.
Put my what down? Wow.
Your boner. It's because you're getting hard by someone describing the Minions.
No, it's flaccid right now. I'm sorry.
Thank you for apologizing for your flaccid penis in the spoilers section of the Beetlejuice.
It just shows Beetlejuice and not give me a hard on. Sorry to say, no.
I thought Keaton was mid. I'm sorry.
There were highs.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Give me one.
It's just that Beetlejuice, given that it's a new world, maybe that I give it leeway because it's his first time playing Beetlejuice and he's gonna go all the way with it. But now they got him doing it a second time, it does kind of feel like he's holding back a little bit. He's not as there, I want to say, as he was before for Beetlejuice.
I was going to say, I just watched the first one again, and then I watched the clip with him and the Maitlands when they first meet him in the first one. I watched it at Denny's while I was before the movie with my dad, and we were laughing. I was like, he does a lot of things where he does not do in this one.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, there's like certain things he says and like gestures, like does a jerk off gesture
like jerk off
too. Yeah, he does like a bunch of like he's letting it fly, and this one he did seem kind of restricted, which is understandable.
PG-13 movie that people might take their kids to, because I see people out there asking like, "Can I take my kids to it?" And I was ready to take my 4-year-old to it, and to be quite honest, I'm not. There's not much I would point to that I think would actually bother her, but there's
a lot more blood in it, I thought, especially near the end.
Sure. Unfortunately, she's willing to talk about and discuss blood because she's seen it in other movies and they've had boo-boos and been like, oh, blood is in our bodies. And yes, there was more blood in this movie. You make a strong point. And the baby created blood, and then when they Jeffrey Jones's with his head cut off, there was blood coming out of that. But I don't know, sharks biting people, they're aware of that stuff, so I don't know.
But speaking of PG-13, why was that F word bleeped out? Did they?
Because they already used one.
They used the one fuck. I
must have missed it. I don't remember when they.
It's not like Barbie where they bleep Issa Rae's one fuck because obviously 5-year-olds are going to watch Barbie.
Yeah, I guess I must have missed when he said that first.
Or if you're my 3-year-old, you watch that one scene in Barbie where they dance over and over.
He says it when he sends the boyfriend into hell.
Yeah.
Which is the one high for me. One of the highs of Keaton. That part was funny.
And when he sends him to hell, that was the Beetlejuice Ex Machina.
Is that what you're
shows up out of nowhere.
I don't think that's much of as the actual wording is Deus Ex Machina I don't think it is, because
Deus Ex Machina is when God shows up to save the plot.
Yeah.
And Beetlejuice showed up to save the protagonists in the plot. Because they were fucked.
I think the book plays more of that part, because suddenly they flip to the book and the answer is right there, and then Jenna Ortega just draws or finds the right page and suddenly draws a triangle magically to summon a sandworm from Sarah's moon.
No. That's later when they're at the wedding.
I know. I'm saying that's more of a Deus Ex Machina than Beetlejuice, because Beetlejuice's power is vague enough that he could technically show up anywhere at any time.
Sure, because the rules are not well established, and the
rules are that you can't summon a sandworm anywhere you want. That's kind of like
Beetlejuice is still around though, right? Like they can make Beetlejuice, can't they?
Yeah.
Which is theoretically the movie they'd have to make. It's Beetlejuice. Like, if this opens to 200 worldwide, do you think they make Beetlejuice?
200 worldwide, yeah.
I don't,
200, yeah.
But it's supposed to open to 145 or something like that this weekend. And
it depends if it has legs. There's nothing really coming out.
Yeah, I think this is the new Deadpool Wolverine. Like, this could have 2 or 3 weekends before anything comes out, and I don't like this as
I want to say Joker, the next big. Joker's the next big.
When is that coming out?
It's October.
Yeah, so this rules September, and then Joker rules October.
I think there's a couple surprises coming in September, but I can't think of them off the top of my head.
No, like The Substance isn't going to do it, and...
Well, yeah, it's not going to break box office, but there are some fun movies coming, but nothing big.
I would love a surprise to take down this movie just because, this was mid. I don't like it. I also didn't like Deadpool and Wolverine because... And I've watched that movie 3 times in the movie theater, twice.
Wow, 3 times? Even though you don't like this movie?
I wanted to go a 3rd time with Chris No Age Didanay because he hadn't seen it, even though he'd listened to the our pod, and then he saw it, and he was still surprised when he saw some of the cameos, which there's a guy at the gym who's got a son that's in his 30s, so that should tell you about how old he is. And he came up to me this week and was like, "Hey, Kyle, did you see Deadpool yet?" And I was like, "Actually, I've seen it 3 times." Person at the gym who I talk to on a regular basis. And he's like, "Wow, my son was really telling me he likes it, and it kind of made me intrigued. I got off the superhero train." But I can see why people get off the superhero train when it's well, anything can happen in any one of these fucking CGI fests. And this movie is a movie with a world where anything can happen, but nothing inventive happened in this movie for me. There was no... Okay, the sandworm is inventive in the first movie. There were cool practical effects. Cool. Add something to that. Why did the Beetlejuice...
They went full Dune, didn't they, with the sand rumbling? I immediately thought of Dune.
I thought every fucking movie has to be Dune. What is with fucking sand this year? Borderlands, Deadpool and Wolverine, Furiosa, fucking Dune. This fucking movie.
Sand.
Just sand all up in these vaginas. I can't take it anymore. Any more sand up in these vaginas, Kirk?
Yeah. You should have done more Samuel L. Jackson. I mean, you got to do the impression, right?
I cannot take any more sand up in these vaginas.
There is
no more motherfucking sand up in these motherfucking vaginas. Welcome to the Beetlejuice pod. Movie baiters with the Farx. No one's baited me. No one's come up and said fuck you, Kyle, you're wrong. That's what we're always trying to find is points of disagreement.
I got a hot take here.
Give me a hot take, baby.
Not a hot take, but a what if. Put Sam Jackson in the Defoe role.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, immediately I like it. But that's not fair. That's Sam Jackson in anything would be better. It's like me saying Nick Cage as Beetlejuice would be more
It's a fun what if, though.
Yeah, I mean, if they could get it. Well, why hasn't Sam Jackson worked with Tim Burton? There's an interesting question. Tim Burton has a very specific type. It's always whites. Does he work with any... I'm sorry, but I don't... Fuck him, who cares? And sorry, Tim Burton, I would love to work with you someday, but why don't you work with Asians, blacks, or any other culture of people? I get Latin people, and I could say that I'm Latin, so maybe I don't know my ethnicity. That's fair. Okay. My kids are of Latin descent, and my wife is. So do I get to use that for now? He works with Hispanic people, but he does not work. Can you name a black person in a Tim Burton movie?
No, but I don't watch a lot of Tim Burton movies. So.
I'd say most of his stuff is period piece too, which is probably why that plays. I'm not trying to make excuses, but a lot of his movies are period pieces.
Sure, and Wednesday was diverse.
Planet of the Apes, Michael Clark Duncan.
Okay.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm saying.
I'm not gonna touch that.
Hey, maybe Michael Clark Duncan, rest in peace. the director's cut of Daredevil doesn't get called out enough because Michael Clark Duncan
Is it better? I've never watched the director's cut.
Holy fucking shit. Michael Clark Duncan was a great Kingpin, and specifically in the director's cut of Daredevil, it is good. And I'm glad whoever is still listening to a Beetlejuice spoiler section of a podcast is hearing me talk. No, like, legitimately, I will stand for the director's cut of Daredevil because they put more legal stuff into it. And right now, I would throw everything down and watch that movie. I know we shouldn't, we won't, but I would like to propose that as a bonus that we do at some point, Kirk. Because I don't know if you know this, Taylor, but sometimes we watch movies in like 23 episodes. 2 extra ones have been where we watch a movie and just talk through it.
Like a director's commentary kind of thing?
Yeah, like a commentary for a movie. It's called a bonus.
A lot more tangents, I want to say,
yeah. It is not... Nick would like to be something that you throw on while you watch the movie, but who even listens to director's commentaries? Have you? When's the last director's commentary you listened to? Hit me with that shit.
I think the most recent one, I was going to do the Greta Gerwig on Barbie on HBO Max. I didn't do that yet.
Fuck. Yeah, I've been meaning to watch that.
That's on my list, but I think Knives Out with Ryan Johnson was the last one I did.
Ooh, and they'd be so much better as podcasts. Like, let's be honest. Like, if they could, you just download. And David Chen, who I referenced off mic for his Interstellar take, he's talked about ripping the audio file off of Blu-rays and other things to like just listen to it, because like you don't necessarily need to see the movie while you're listening to it. And I like podcasts; I can consume them all the time while I'm going through my life. The first thing I thought of about life was the result of eating, but that was pooping, Kirk. Yeah, I was trying to be classy.
Thing, like as a baby, the first thing you thought about life was that? Wow.
Well, like going through life, like when do I listen to podcasts? When I'm trying to fall asleep, when I'm driving, when I'm, pooping, cooking, cleaning after cooking. Listen, that's when I listen to podcasts. That's when people will hear this. So, Movie Man T, give us your summary. Play us out, because we should definitely be at the end of this goddamn podcast at this point, for fuck's sake.
Wait, did you get out enough rage for people not to see this movie, though?
No, I think you should wait till it's on HBO Max. No. I don't think you should see this movie. I'm actively against it just because, like, I feel all the things were there to be good. They didn't come in concert together. They weren't playing the same notes at the same time. Even the Flash movie had more coherence than this movie for me. And this movie made me mad, and I don't know why, and I'd probably be thinking about it for days.
All right. That's a tough spot. All right. What about you, Movie Man T? End it on a positive note.
Yeah,
you don't want your final thoughts at all, Kirk?
Sure. My final thoughts. I'm not a big Beetlejuice fan. I honestly saw it on Monday, the first one. So
you saw it 2 days ago.
Yeah, 2 days ago. So I don't have that much history of Beetlejuice. I didn't have any high expectations going to this movie, so I don't have that much going for it. I thought it was okay. I didn't hate it as much as my brother here, but...
Could you tell I was hating it while I was sitting next to you?
Maybe, because I was watching you a little bit more this time. Yeah, because you were kind of moving your seat a little bit, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, I was getting pissed. How about when and this is for you to gather your thoughts, Movie Man T, because I want you to send us out with you got to send us out hot. But, tell the audience about how I fucked up when I first got out of my seat. You see, you're smiling now. Okay, go. All
right, so Kyle is supposed to be sitting, 6 seats to the right of me, because we did not A-list this.
We didn't entourage A-list this if you were to be a part of a specific movie subscription chain.
But anyways, we're 5 minutes, 10 minutes into the movie, a lady comes up and says, "Oh, that's my seat, Kyle." Not that she knew his name, but that's my seat.
She said Kyle. I'm famous.
Yeah. He's like, "Oh," and then I go, yeah, some people. And then Kyle gets up and is like, "Oh, no, he's my friend." So he just hops to the seat next to me. Like, wow, that must have been real embarrassing.
Here's for her or for you.
For you,
Well,
because you had to, throughout the entire movie, Kyle was looking around, so was I, for other people to come and ask him to get out of their seat. Because I was waiting for him to get kicked out again.
I think that could I fairly say that woman was of East Asian descent?
Sure.
So I honestly, when I thought you guys were going, what I thought you said to her was, "Fucking white people."
I said some people, yeah.
You said some people. I thought it was fucking white people. And I was just, okay, well, I'll switch over my friend here, who you don't know to be my friend, and then you wait for. She did not care. She did not care that we were friends. No. So, Movie Man T, send us out on a positive note. Tell people why they should see it and not wait for HBO Max.
All right, started off the top, I guess. If you're a fan of the first one, you're obviously going to love this movie. Or love it, but you will like it. Some may love it, but you will like it and enjoy it. I gotta say, I had a blast watching it. I had fun. I went in, I didn't have super high expectations because I figured it would be about the same as the first one, which I thought it was, in my opinion. I went in expecting Keaton to be unhinged. He was a little more tamer than he was in the first one, but he made me laugh. Catherine O'Hara is really funny as per usual.
Sexy.
Yes, as the Farx Brothers says, Kyle. Yeah, Winona Ryder was a little not much to do per se.
Hey, she fucked up Stranger Things release for this.
Yeah. Jenna Ortega's doing her typical Ortega thing. I'm not wrong. Thoreau's fun. I thought Defoe was fun. Yeah, Bellucci's just kind of there. I always like watching her, but she's just there.
Why do you like watching her? Because she was the prostitute that tried to tempt Jesus in Passion of the Christ.
Hey, man, I go back to Shoot 'Em Up, and that's a deep cut right there.
Shoot 'Em Up came out after Passion of the Christ. I own both on Blu-ray, and that would be an even better back-to-back than Beetlejuice and Black Klansman.
Wow, you said it right this time, I think.
Black Klansman?
No, I think we caught it. You said it the right way this time.
Is there a silent K?
Yes.
You're
the silent K, Kirk.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
I guess
see me coming.
If you want me to wrap up some more, I thought it being digital instead of on film was an odd choice.
You didn't like that?
I got used to it. It was kind of like whoa at first, but I guess I'm seeing so many movies on film now or digital now. It's kind of used to it, but it's like I kind of wanted the aspect of the film again, film grain and all that. But
yeah,
would have added to the nostalgia.
That was in the agenda, and I never got to it, so thank you. You read the agenda clearly.
Score is fun. For a lot of fun practical stuff with the Minion guys or whatever.
Yeah.
They're fun. Yeah, I guess if I give it a 3.5 out of 5, I guess, on my Letterboxd.
3.5 out of 5?
That's what I give it.
Okay, 3.5 out of 5. None of us have Letterboxd. I just don't care anymore.
I guess if you want to find me, go to my Letterboxd. It's Movie Man T. So
Movie Man T on Letterboxd. What?
Wow, do you mispronounce everything?
Tell me what else to mispronounce.
Black Klansman? Yeah.
It's not Black Klansman. It's Black Klansman.
But if all right, I'm not gonna. I think we've gone too long, so we're just getting in right here. Bye-bye.
Bye, Chris.